You've been lied to. The most exciting businesses, the ones with the flashy pitch decks, the viral launches, the celebrity investors, those are almost never the ones that actually make millionaires. The businesses quietly minting millionaires every single year are so boring that most people scroll right past them. And that's exactly why they work. Today I'm breaking down 6 of those businesses, and I'm going to show you why the success rate on these is almost embarrassingly high compared to everything else out there. Let's start with why boring wins. When something sounds exciting, every ambitious person in the world chases it. You get oversaturation, brutal competition, razor-thin margins, and most people end up broke. But when something sounds dull, most people ignore it. The person who leans in anyway? They walk into a market with real demand, low competition, and customers who are desperate to find someone reliable. That's the formula. Boring plus consistent demand equals generational wealth. Keep that in mind as we go through every single one of these. Number 1. Junk removal. I know. You're already thinking about skipping ahead. Don't. The junk removal industry generates billions of dollars annually, and it is one of the most scalable, low-barrier entry businesses a person can start. People will always have stuff they want gone. Furniture, old appliances, renovation debris, hoarded items. They don't want to deal with it, and they will pay someone else a premium to make it disappear. You can start this business with a used truck and about a few $100s in marketing. The average junk removal job earns somewhere between $200 and $500. Run 5 jobs a day, 6 days a week, and you're looking at serious annual revenue before you've even hired your first employee. What happens when you scale? You add more trucks, you train crews, you build routes, and you start printing money while you're sleeping. The overhead stays low because you're not manufacturing anything. You're just solving a problem people genuinely cannot be bothered to solve themselves. That's a powerful business model. Number 2. Self-storage. This one might be the most passive of everything on this list. Americans own so much stuff that they run out of room, and then they rent space to store the overflow. Self-storage facilities consistently generate strong recurring revenue because people rent a unit, pay automatically every month, and then forget about it for years. The average occupancy rate for self-storage facilities hovers above 90% in most markets. Once you fill your units, the income becomes almost automatic. The real money here is in acquiring or building the facility and then letting the model run. Yes, there's upfront capital required, but self-storage is one of the most recession-resistant asset classes in existence. During economic downturns, people downsize their homes and still need somewhere to store what they own. During good times, they accumulate more. Either way, you win. Number 3, commercial cleaning. This one has been quietly building millionaires for decades, and most people still overlook it. Every office building, every restaurant, every medical facility, every school needs to be cleaned. It's not optional. It's not seasonal. It's a permanent recurring contract. The beauty of commercial cleaning is that once you land a contract, you often keep it for years without having to sell again. The client switches providers only when something goes wrong. So if you show up consistently and do quality work, you're essentially collecting a paycheck indefinitely. You can start with a mop, a vacuum, and basic cleaning supplies. Scale by hiring a team and taking on more contracts. Some of the wealthiest people in regional markets built their entire fortune cleaning buildings. Most people walk through without a second thought. Number 4, laundromats. Another business people roll their eyes at until they look at the actual numbers. A well-placed laundromat in the right neighborhood can generate tens of thousands of dollars per month in almost fully passive income. You invest in the machines. You hire one part-time attendant. You collect revenue. The demographics that rely on laundromats aren't going anywhere. Renters, students, people in transitional housing, travelers. The demand is constant. What makes laundromats especially powerful is that the business essentially runs itself once the machines are in and the location is set. Add more locations, and you're compounding that passive income dramatically. The people who own 20 laundromats didn't start with 20. They started with 1, learned the model, and expanded strategically. Number 5, lawn care and landscaping. Before you dismiss this one, listen to the revenue ceiling. High-end landscaping companies routinely pull in millions of dollars per year in revenue. not because they're mowing lawns for $20 a pop, but because they handle commercial contracts, property maintenance agreements, seasonal services, and installation projects that can run tens of thousands of dollars per job. The residential side is where you learn. The commercial side is where you scale. Property management companies, HOA communities, corporate campuses, hospitals, they all need ongoing landscaping maintenance. And they sign contracts. Land enough of those contracts and your revenue becomes predictable, recurring, and extremely difficult to replicate quickly because you've built the relationships. The barriers to entry are low, but the ceiling is remarkably high. Number 6. Plumbing. Hear me out on this one because the numbers are genuinely shocking. Licensed plumbers are in severe shortage across most of the country. That means the ones who exist can charge whatever they want, and people will pay it because they have no choice. A burst pipe at 2 in the morning is not a situation where you negotiate the price. You call whoever answers, and you pay whatever they charge. Master plumbers who build their own companies rather than working for someone else often earn well into 6 and 7 figures annually. The licensing requirement that intimidates most people from entering this trade is actually one of the biggest reasons it works so well. It keeps competition artificially low. Every person who talks themselves out of getting licensed is just clearing the path for whoever does. Now here's what all 6 of these have in common, and this is the part I really need you to hear. None of them require a revolutionary idea. None of them require you to invent something new. None of them require venture capital or going viral or convincing anyone that your concept is worth betting on. They just require you to show up consistently in markets where demand already exists. The hardest part of most boring businesses is not the operations. It's overcoming the psychological barrier of thinking the business is beneath you. That ego is costing people millions of dollars every single year. The 90% success rate I mentioned in the title is not an accident or a marketing gimmick. These businesses succeed at high rates because they serve needs that don't go away. Junk removal, storage, cleaning, laundry, landscaping, plumbing. Nobody is inventing an app that replaces those things. Nobody is disrupting a market that's built on physical, essential, recurring human needs. The fancy startup that burns through investor money chasing disruption has a success rate that most research puts somewhere around 10%. Meanwhile, the person who buys a used truck and starts hauling junk is building something with real durability. The question isn't whether these businesses work. The data proves they do. The question is whether you're willing to bet on boring instead of exciting. Because almost everyone who watches this video will continue waiting for a more glamorous opportunity. They'll keep looking for the thing that sounds impressive at a dinner party. And while they're waiting, someone else is signing another commercial cleaning contract, buying their third laundromat, or quoting a plumbing job for $800 that takes 45 minutes to complete. If this video shifted something in your thinking, I want to know which of these 6 you'd actually consider starting. Drop it in the comments right now, because I read every single one. And if you want to go deeper on exactly how to start any of these businesses from scratch with almost no money, I've got a full video on that topic coming up next. Do not miss it.